project is about engaging young people aged 11 to 25 in recording the history of the Grimsby Chums, who were a group of guys that went out to the First World War. They were all drafted up to go and fight in the First World War.
A group of us started chatting about different ideas we had to commemorate the Chums and the centenary outbreak of the First World War, which will be in 2014. And we realised that, from my perspective, I was looking to write a play about the Chums and what could happen from the perspective of a family that had witnessed the loss of sons to war and to the army, things like that. And in looking to apply for funding, we realised that if everybody was applying for the same funding, then the funders wouldn't actually really be very happy if we couldn't work together. So we decided the easiest thing to do would be to get all the interested parties together and then work together to actually create a project, which was...
We were contacted by Claire of Synergy, must be about 6 months ago, asking if the Library Service would like to be partners in the Your Country Needs Youth project funded by the HLF. And of course we did want to, because we've got a lot of resources in the local history library, and we're also always looking for opportunities to promote our collections to a wider audience, specifically to young people.
I'd been looking at the story of the Grimsby Chums for a while. I first came across it in around 2000 when I was doing another play at the Caxton Theatre, which involved the ghost of a First World War soldier. And I thought it would be quite interesting to look at Grimsby's war record and what had happened. And I discovered Peter Chapman's book, Grimsby's Own, which was all about the history of the Chums. Read that, was absolutely fascinated. And I've actually gone ahead and done my own research since, and done about 2.5 years of research into the subject so far.
I think it's important at any time in history, but specifically and particularly now, because we're coming up to the centenary of the beginning of the First World War, 1914-2014. So I think it's always good to keep it in the public awareness. I mean, we all know that there now aren't any people who fought in the First World War. No, none of them survive now. So if it's projects like this that will keep it in the public eye, in the public domain, and make people realise the resources are still there and that they can still find out about what happened.
Well, we've got volunteer opportunities, particularly for young people. We want to help young people develop skills that they can put on their CVs and maybe get a job from. So we're particularly looking for skills in heritage, so history like recording, interpreting documents, handling documents, understanding archiving processes, where to find information. We're also looking for people that are interested in learning about project management, how to run a project, how to organise things like an event, how to organise an exhibition, also monitoring the project and looking at what we've achieved and how we report on that. And we're also looking for people to be involved in the media side, learning how to use the camera, how to edit and develop the film for us that we've got to develop for the Grimsby Chums project.
Yeah, fairly early on I decided to register the project with the Imperial War Museum, who are commemorating the outbreak of the First World War and trying to coordinate all the sort of various activities that are going on around the country. And they've been wonderful, they've been really supportive and have become a partner to our project. And in fact they rang me last week to ask if we could be mentioned at their national launch before they'd even heard about our project getting the Heritage Lottery funding. They were that excited about what we were trying to do here in Grimsby.
I'm hoping that this project will educate people about who the Chums were, what their role was in the First World War, who they were as people, what kind of jobs they had before they went away. Did they work for their dads on the butcher's store? Did they work on Freeman Street Market? Where did they live? Some real personal details about these guys, so we can relate that to young people today and the young people that live in this area today.